Welcome everyone. We'll start our lesson 3. Today lesson will go through LO3. LO3, which is about understanding the impact of accountability to stakeholders and external body and education and training. So we know the stakeholders. What is meant by stakeholders? Mean anyone who has any interest in business or with organization and their policies. Are their interests impacted due to the policy and the action of companies or organization? We can call them stakeholders. So those can be internal stakeholders, external stakeholders. Those stakeholders can be direct or indirect impact due to the policies and procedures. So our discussion will be focused on these stakeholders. Okay, so what is accountability? So schools are accountable to Ofsted, but can also be accountable through other channels, self-evaluation within school, their own compliance, their internal audit. So always good to be we have an internal audit instead of Ofsted do external audit. With the tool to assist self-evaluation.
Sorry, did you say Ofsted would be external?
Yes, Ofsted is external, and we can do internal audit like peer observation, peer assessment, moderation. These all which we can look around the wider. So we can follow the guidance of the Ofsted, and we'll do carry on doing our own internal quality check.
Okay.
Okay, self-evaluation among staff, school evaluation involves stakeholders, parents, people. Sometimes it's a problem it's a documentary evidence how we'll maintain. Like sometime inspector can say, come on, show me the student work. So maybe we not kept it the record. So that's record keeping is most important really, because we do things, but sometimes we not kept it, and the last minute we have to create the thing. So before Ofsted, day and night, always spending, which shouldn't happen. It should be a routine work, really. So how do the stakeholders and external bodies help to maintain quality in education and training? By working with other stakeholders, sharing the ideas and plan and best practices. The team effort improve the chances of achieving those goals and create a positive student. So we can look around the wider interest and the wider impact of organization. Of course, we can look around the quality of education in a way, where we can apply the key concept and we can link it with the various other organizations. So who are the external bodies in the education? Of course, teachers, student, parents, sports staff, and midday assistant, which we can look at external stakeholders outside the business. We have local authorities, we have LEA, local education authorities, we have off-call, we can look around D, which is Department Education and Skills, and various other regulatory bodies. Okay, so what are the effects of being accountable to stakeholders? Yes, because that can be accountability foster continuous improvement. So you've been given fund, where the fund being used, why we not achieve it, what the benchmark, KPIs. Yes, these can be accountable. Why not? So we can look around various things. Sometimes it's a put huge pressure on teaching and learning really environment, and some teachers really, especially in schools and primary, secondary, and higher as well, but mostly in universities, quite slightly different way and less paperwork. So transparency, quality assurance, and continuous improvement. That's which we need to. Okay, what policy do school have? The Department of Education. The Department of Education is responsible children series of we can look around the services and education include the early years, school, higher and further education policies, apprenticeships, and wide skill in England. Because especially nowadays, the funding coming from and the funding need to be spent, and what social impact you have due to that funding. So that can be accountability. So like, you're running extra classes, sometimes you do delivering the courses for parents, yes. And these
Yeah.
all, and we can keep, the record as well, of course, record keeping. It can be recommendation if you not doing, and that can be recommendation or area of development. Those can be used. Okay, understand the impact of accountability to stakeholders in external body and education. The impact of accountability to stakeholders and external body and education and training is a critical aspect of education sector. Accountability, we also know professional responsibility accounting. You've been given fund, you've been given responsibility, you will be accountable. If you perform well, of course you should be extra reward for it, but if not, you will be accountable. So education institution, professional demonstrate their effectiveness and transparencies too. Yes, so record keeping is very, like you spend um student trip, you spend the money on it. Yes, where the money came from, how you compare with the coaches, buses, booking, events, and all, the money, because of course, which we can look around, these all funding, and we can justify those here. In analysis, the impact of accountability, quality assurance, and improvement, uh, student-centered approach, which we can look around extras, special needs, how much we spend and all of this, curriculum development and relevance, resource allocation and efficiency, equality, inclusion, public trust, reputation, legal compliance, and ethical behaviors. Yes, legal compliance, ethical behaviors, like, even is a link with the social workers, carer, external bodies, all, the compliance side, which we need to be. Okay, so we have one, quality assurance and improvement, impact accountability, external bodies such as quality assurance agency ensure the education maintain high standards, encourage, continuous improvement, sharing experience with the various, and sometime, of course, summer holidays or trip, those have different, learning from various institution or institution visits. Of course, office of students, OFS, and quality assurance, QAA, which is especially higher education, play a vital role ensuring the quality and accountability. And they can, especially if the quality standard not pass, especially for universities, and it can be huge, their license, especially to recruit international student or student from outside, and the funding can be impacted. Student-centered approach, impact, accountability to student in driving the force behind the student-centered education. Education institutions are accountable for delivering effective teaching. Of course, their teaching, learning, assessments, all, so which we can example student evaluation, survey, feedback. Of course, nowadays we use a lot of, these form, Google form or Microsoft form we can create, and we'll carry on getting feedback at the end of the lessons. And those feedback we can carry on keeping such date, what feedback we have, what reflection we have, we can keep the diary, and ultimately we'll carry on reflecting and carry on improving. Okay, curriculum development and relevance, impact of accountability to employer and industrial stakeholder drive development of different curriculum, which we can look around the workforce demand. We have a lot of issues, of course, due to the staff shortage, motivation of staff, uh, graduate with the relevant skills and knowledge. An example of collaborative, partnership between universities and industries, especially universities environment. So that is more crucial. Resource allocation efficiencies, accountability, government. Sometimes some universities, like, I observe many universities, the various, the building they sold to the third parties. There we have here in Leeds, Bradford, and various other areas, even colleges, because that's a little maintenance. I don't know the reason behind the board of governance saying, come on, is costed, but ultimately it's your asset, in the long run, expansion of organization. That's a huge, the public fund and the planning and the financial compliance with the government budgetary regulations. So some organizations, equality, which we can look around, equities and inclusions, impact of accountability on societal values and diversity, encourage, institution to promote, which is, of course, we have maybe uh, equity and inclusion manages equality and diversity. Yes, these all, accommodate student disabilities, learning difficulties. Sometimes we have a language barriers because the student from quite diverse background. Public trust and reputation, accountability to the wider community and public is a crucial to maintain the trust and the reputation, and education institution must uphold their commitment to ethical standards, social responsibility, and publicly available performance data transparency. Of course, Ofsted report, of course, is very important, which carry on our colleges and schools publish their own internal as well. Any question, Patricia?
No, I'm okay so far, thank you.
Okay, then we have a legal compliance and ethics, which had moral principle, ethical behavior. If you are a member of any professional bodies like SET, which is IFL, yes, Institute for Further Learning, of course, it's now been.
Sorry, could I just ask, would it be possible for you to share the PowerPoint that you're looking at?
These PowerPoints, yes.
Yeah,
These are available on our Moodle page.
Yeah, I know, but I've just lost track of where you are. What can I ask what page you're on, just so I can? It's easier than if
I'm on the slide 10.
Oh, okay. It's just because I like to make notes as I'm going on.
No. Yeah, that's fine. Yes, good.
Right. Yep, I found it now. So we're doing the conclusion. Is that right?
No. We are on the slide 10. Legal compliance, ethical behavior.
Why can't I find that? Are you able to share it? Because I can't seem to find it.
Yes. Give me 1 minute. L3. Okay, yes, I share now in the chat box. In 1 minute, you can download.
Why isn't it opening?
Legal and compliance, ethics,
Yeah.
we need to be look around the data protection laws and various other legislations, which we need to. In conclusion, accountability to the stakeholders, external bodies has profound impact on the education and training. Student-centered approach, curriculum relevance, which we can look around education, institution, profession, must navigate the complex web of accountability and relationship to meet, that's why we have a parent governor, we have, executive, non-executive members in schools to improve the quality, to explore about the wider interest, what we're doing towards societies and, with the various stakeholders. So we have 3.1 explain the role of the stakeholder external bodies. Stakeholders in external body play a vital role, as we mentioned earlier. It's improve the quality, which we need to be stakeholders. Student role of student are the center stakeholders in the education and training. Primary role engage, in learning.
Sorry, Andrew. We are doing learning objective 3, aren't we?
Yes.
It's just that I don't seem to have those slides, so I must have maybe printed out the wrong one. Because the last one,
maybe that these are the latest slides, updated.
Yeah. So could you make sure that they're on? Oh, I've doubt. Can you just make sure that these ones are on Moodle for
Yes,
me?
these are all.
This. No, well, I've printed off what was already on Moodle, and the slides on. Well, when I printed them out a couple of weeks ago, I printed them out. They're not matching.
Can you see here? Yes.
Yep.
Is it visible to you or not?
Yeah, but I'm saying I printed the slides here that I'm looking at from Moodle, and they're not matching up.
Maybe you printed some old. Is it we picking the unit 4? Yes.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Would you be able to email those to me after the session?
Yes, sure, I will.
Have you got my email?
Yes, if you give me, that will be great. If in the chat box, you leave it. I'll download all, I'll send you.
Let me just type it in for you quickly now, just because then.
No problem. You can type on the chat box. Yes?
So, yeah. I'm doing that now.
So,
because I obviously I printed them and then I can make notes, but obviously it's not matching up. So
maybe it's like I'm not sure.
Bit more tricky. So if you could send them after the lesson, that would be really helpful. Okay, so I'm just going to have to listen now.
I will send you from my personal email.
Yeah, no, that's brilliant. Yeah, no, it's just I need to grab a pen and make some notes.
Reason by this laptop, my other email not working, so sometimes.
Okay, no, that's fine. As long as you can send them, that'd be really helpful. Thank you.
Welcome. I'll send. Okay, I'll make sure. Okay, yes, please. So we can look around the stakeholders. Stakeholders can be students, yes. So we can look around their satisfaction. Then we have a parent and families. That's a huge, we have a regular communication with the parents, the progress of their kids. We really need to we have a parent evening. And
we have those regularly.
Valuable inputs which we can listen. Employer and industries, of course, employer and industry stakeholders expecting graduate to possess, relevant skills and knowledge. We listen, industry, because that is very crucial. Like few years back, we had a feedback like, we have a lot of accountants, they don't know how to use Sage software or the digital, because of course, when we're looking, so we introduce, and we embedded the new subject, which we rewrite our degrees. And so we can look around the stakeholders, what they expect, from, and what skills are required, to in line and the needs of the employer, and we can make it accordingly. Employability and placement are giving, the knowledge. Okay, teacher and educator role, yes, which we can look around responsible, delivering the quality education, facilitating the learning, design the curriculum, assess, student influence, of course, teacher expertise, commitment directly impact the student learning and outcome. Community, of course, broader community has the stake in the education, affect the social cohesion, economics development, like on the league table, comparing with other countries, other part of the world. Yes, what skill, knowledge, and those which we carry on looking as a huge impact, in terms of. So that's from the school now, a lot of emphasis. The kids can stay longer and do the placements and all, even the more subject. So role, the government set, educational policies standard by looking the requirement of the industries. And of course, as a school and as a education institution, and we'll carry on doing against the standard, and we'll carry on doing audit. Audit means checking the accuracy, what we are saying, those are accurate with the rules, laws, and ethical and moral standards. Accreditations, quality assurance agencies provide the credibility institution and help, to maintain the improved quality in education. Okay, professional association, that's huge, which we can look on IFL, various other awarding bodies and regulatories. So they carry on giving us, the research based, and we'll carry on following certification, accreditations, funding bodies, of course, they carry on how many people you have trained special needs in your schools and various other, because when we claim the funding, and no, of course, apprenticeship and levy, which we can claim 10% of the payroll, depends how big your school and the institution or the academies. So which we can look around the performance and the compliance objective influence in institution must meet the specific criteria to demonstrate the accountability and the funding requirement. Okay, so we have international bodies which we UNESCO, which we can look around the World Bank, promote the global education standard and collaboration, which is collaborated program. Like in the UK, we have exchange program in Japan and other part of the world. Summer holidays, especially exchange programs. That's their sharing experience, international cooperation. A lot of schools nowadays in other part of the world, school people are sharing the best practices, provide your resources, of course, technology, and enable us. So in many, in the summary, stakeholder and external body education training play the critical role, shaping the policies and their engagement and influence and contribute overall the effectiveness. Then we have a 3.2 explain how being accountable stakeholder and external body impact on organization. Of course, it's a huge impact on organization, taking the corrective action, improve the effectiveness of organization. We can look around the resource allocation, which we just mentioned, curriculum program development, teaching, different methods, of course, which we sync learning. We have various others, my maths and more digital tools. We have, like through gaming, a lot of, companies, those are making these resources, data collection and reporting, quality assurance, accreditation, stakeholders engagement and policy. Resource allocation, impact of the education must, allocate resources effectively, like, nowadays, they're giving the laptop and resources to the parent, and parent can, of course, a lot of school, they are train the parents during especially summer holidays, offering some courses, staff and infrastructure and accountability of to funding bodies such as government agencies, grant provider, ensure that the financial resources are managed. Transparency is very important. Even we look around tea, coffee, or we all, that we have all the accountability like voting schemes. So to improve the quality, curriculum and the program development, of course, accountability to the stakeholders, including student, employees, and all. Feedback is known as a feed forward, which will carry on looking those, of course, we use always looking the, we mentioned sandwich approach, designing and the contents update and introduce the new courses accordingly, because of course nowadays a lot of courses which we have a requirement like, equality, diversity, data protection, health and safety, and various other courses. So teaching and learning methods, accountability to students, education qualities, assurance bodies, influence, on the teaching and learning. Institutions are expected to be adopt, effective pedagogical continuous improvement of quality education, student-centered approaches, which we can look around. Educators maybe need the professional development CPD record, which will carry on doing, of course, it's a legal requirement. Data collection and reporting, which regular will carry on collecting the data from the student, will carry on publishing on attendance or various retention rate, financial management, what we have, in term of school reports, and it's a compliance reports, very quality assurance and accreditation impact on the accountability, quality assurance, accreditation bodies. We can look around status and reputation. We can look around organization must demonstrate the compliance and the qualities, which we establish the quality assurance, self-assessment practices, external evaluations, which audit carry on doing, and stakeholder engagement and communication, which is regular communication with the parents, with the employer, with the local bodies, and we should have all the record, like we publishing the newsletters, weekly letters, letter giving to students, and so the engagement policy, uh, runs and the legal compliance, accountability and the government bodies, regulatory authorities required, education to carry on policies and the legal requirement, and organization must ensure the compliance and the law. Of course, equal opportunity, health and safety, in your teaching staff, how much, if you have a diverse sometime in the organization carry on through apprenticeship, trained some, so you have in the staff, that's, which is looking, providing opportunities in a way. And in summary, we can look around being accountable stakeholders, external bodies, education impact, organization influence, resources, curriculum development, teaching engagement, and we can look around the factors collectively shape, organization ability, high quality, of course, recruitment and selections, when we do, where we advertise the job, and how many people. So we have all the records, which is regulatory bodies and the funding. And if we need extra post, which we carry on recruiting. So 3.3, we have explained why important work partnership with the employer and the stakeholder. Of course, working partnership is crucial, which we can look around as a team, because overall it can be huge impact on all the stakeholders in alignment with the labor needs, labor market, what's the happening with the skill shortage, collaborating with them, ensure the education program in line with, like, using a latest, like especially in various, the measurements and actually giving the knowledge. Of course, BBC developed a lot of resources, especially during COVID-19. Skill-wise, BBC Bite Size, and various other websites. Graduate are better prepared employment. Yes, reducing the skill gap will carry on meeting those skill gaps, and are the metrics which we carry on using these. Relevance to the curriculum, which is important input, from the employer and various other stakeholders, their feedback, their engagement, job market. Yes, what really, looking, and work-based learning, that's huge. They're like people sending in the field, in the factories, and visit and replacement, and the student gain, real world experience. Yes, which enhance, their practical skills. So it can be various, those people. We have a science and development or various other councils. So those, which we carry on engaging. So employer engagement in assessment and evaluation, involving employer in assessment evaluation process, ensure the education and training maintain the standard. Any question, please, if you have?
No, I'm okay, thank you.
Okay, so we can look around sport to the career development. Of course, we can send the people for different courses. We can claim the money from apprenticeship levy. Maybe we can offering them do teaching courses if we don't have a qualified, do research. At the moment is very important in analytics. How we can use, the data and interpret the data, and we use for our own purposes. Research driven solution benefit if we have a staff, if we have a retention problem in student, it contribute to the economics growth, and competitiveness, enhance, resources and funding, collaboration with the employer and various other uh, stakeholders, and funding and equipment expertise can improve the quality education and training, benefiting both learners. So school and the link with the university can play a huge role promoting the life learning. Employer can play the key role promoting continuous professional development. Of course, will carry on doing CPDs, will carry on attending webinar, seminar, and sometimes the cross-industry experience is very important. Community engagement, of course, community project, sometimes is the cleaning in local areas, charity work, like, getting funding, various, other events which will carry on ultimately, the stakeholders impact and the wider interest. So working in the partnership with the employer and other stakeholders in education and training is essential. Ensure the education program are relevant, effective, and responsive to the needs of the learner and the demand of the labor market or the market, which is quite crucial to improve the employability, economics growth, and overall success educational institution. Then we have 3.4, analyze the impact of being accountable stakeholders, external bodies, which we can being accountable state. These are all, the learning outcome flow one and others, specialism areas, higher education, like, taught math specialists, science specialists. So we can look around accountability of external bodies such as the quality assurance, regulatory authorities, curriculum design in line with the guidance. We have a awarding body, HEA, Higher Education Academy, IFL, Institute for Further Learning. We have, of course, we have Ofsted and various others, teaching and learning methods, of course, which will carry on, keeping in view of the need as a society that teaching methods carry on shaping more the learner-centered and looking the problem-based learning, and meet, employer demands. And assessment practices, assessment also is a hint says need to be transparency, fairness, and validity of the assessment, because a lot of assessment is we carry on becoming outdated ways. So maybe need to be like, assignments based on the coursework based. Now of course we have a chat gpt or other software. If you say to them write this for me, they can write for you everything. So we can look around these, because that's universities and all chaining these and the wider project, because ultimately, assessment strategy need to be changed. Quality assurance accreditation, of course, will carry on applying to various accreditation. Ultimately, that increase the goodwill and effectiveness and the data-driven decision which we need to be make. The feedback, as we mentioned, continuous improvement, accountability required that organization to collect and respond to the various stakeholders, carry on getting feedback from parents, from governors, from local authorities, our internal and the student voices. Compliance with the legal and ethical standard, of course, giving the equal opportunities, providing them, moral principle, helping families sometime in a hardship, are guiding them, or sometimes filling forms and all other bit and pieces. Ethical standards such as plagiarism, prevention, student data privacy, which is quite, which we need to be depends in schools and others. Resource allocation, accountability to be funding bodies, yes, influence the resources allocation. We can claim if we are delivering and we have an impact, impact study we will carry on doing according to the accountability requirement. Budget are allocated based on the needs and the faculty development and teaching material, and we can use the costing methods, to fairness. So accountability to stakeholders in external body has the multiple just, impact on the curriculum design, delivery, and assessment. So those we can look around. We have a higher education schools, of course, where we can look around. Ultimately, increase the quality through implementing the policies and procedure. Of course, we have teaching excellency framework, research excellency framework. Those we, a lot of policies being given. Of course, JET-PATI and various other research which will carry on looking and improving the quality and improving the standard. Any question?
No, I think I'm okay.
Okay, of course today was really this learning outcome is more looking what we are doing it, improving and in engaging with the more stakeholders who has any interest with the schools and institutions. So we try them to involve them and share best practices, and we can carry on getting feedback from them.
So can I just check? Can I just check with you? So the assignment front sheet that's on Moodle, is that what we're going to be following?
Yes, should be.
It's just because when I'm doing my other one, so my other unit with Shazia on Wednesday, we're not following the one she's put on the system at the moment. So I just wanted to make sure that's definitely, and that's got 5 learning objectives. Is that correct?
Just 1 second. I can further before saying it. Yes, it should be 5. Yes, we have 5. I can share with you. Yes,
oh no, I've got like the assignment front sheet. So yes, that's what I'm looking at now.
Yes, we have a 5 learning outcome. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's just so I've got that, so I know that that's what we're working towards. So we're on learning objective
3 we did, and next lesson we'll do 4, and then next we'll do 5.
And I need to start pulling it all together. So, yeah, okay, yep. So I can start putting that together. So if you could just send me the correct slides so I can get those printed off, that would be really helpful.
No problem. I'll send you learning outcome 4 and 5.
Yes, please, just to make sure, because I like to print it off, as I said, and then make notes as we go in along.
No problem.
So if you could send, yeah, 3, 4, and 5 across. The other ones were okay. If you could do that now.
Yes, 3 I send you just today. Yes, I shared with you.
Yes, 3, 4. Send 3, 4, and 5. That would be great, and then I can obviously print them out at work and have them ready for next week and the week after. That would be brilliant.
No problem. I'll send you soon. Okay, brilliant. Thanks for attending to the session. Have a lovely evening. And I'm
just making sure. Sorry, could I just make sure that they've come through before I?
Oh, okay. No. Just
before I leave you. Yes,
so
I've got.
If you give me 1 minute, it should be.
No worries.
I just log. I already downloaded, so it's no issue. And have your email. Okay, please check your email. I sent. It should be in your mailbox.
Not yet. It's not.
Just if you synchronize it, just refresh it. It should be.
Yeah, I have. I've got my phone here, so it hasn't come through just yet. Oh, there we go. Yep, 3, 4, and 5. Yeah. Brilliant. I can get them printed off at work. All right. Thanks, Anjum. I'll see you next Tuesday.
Yep, brilliant. See you next Tuesday. Have a lovely. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.